Let's move on now. It is also a critical day at the United Nations General Assembly. In just a few hours from now, the UNGA will vote. They will decide whether to throw Russia out of the UN Human Rights Council. This move was first initiated by the United States. It was in response to the mass killings in Bucha. Currently, the Human Rights Council consists of 47 member states. They were elected directly and individually by a secret ballot, and this is done by the majority of the members of the General Assembly. The UN General Assembly can suspend the rights of membership for any member in the Council. This can be done for systematic violation of human rights. Abstentions do not count, and any resolution requires a two-thirds majority. Russia's current membership on the Council ends in December 2023. The only member that has been suspended until now is Libya in 2011. With the states set for voting, all eyes now are on India. Today will mark India's toughest test in this conflict. So far, India has abstained on at least 11 resolutions at the UN Security Council, at the UN General Assembly, at the Human Rights Council and at the International Atomic Energy Agency. India can choose to abstain, but as we told you earlier, abstentions do not count here. Moscow has already said even as an abstention will be treated as an unfriendly gesture. New Delhi has condemned the killing in Bucha, calling for an independent probe. How it votes today could be definitive in New Delhi's role and stance in this conflict.
We are, first and foremost, strongly against the conflict. We believe that no...
Meanwhile, our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibil has sent us this report with the latest updates on the matter. Take a look.
Well, it's an important day at the United Nations as the United Nations General Assembly meets later today on the issue of suspension of Russia from the United Nations Human Rights Council. Now, we know that two-thirds majority is required. A yes vote is needed for the suspension of any country, and in this case it is Russia. And this resolution has been brought by Western countries like US, UK and of course Japan, Moldova, and this primarily happening in the backdrop of killings in Bucha, something that has shocked the world. Now, we know that Western countries are saying that Russia is responsible for the killings in Bucha, something that Moscow is denying, but of course it is not finding any takers of what it has been saying. But nonetheless, at the United Nations, we know it is a precarious situation for India as well. What India has been doing in the past is that India is abstaining at every resolution and procedural vote on the situation regarding Ukraine, whether it's backed by the West or whether it's backed by Russia. But today it will be crucial because abstentions do not count. So everyone will be waiting and watching where and how India votes at the United Nations General Assembly. But we have seen evolution in New Delhi's position. There was a time, of course, India was not even using the word condemn. But we saw earlier this week, India strongly condemned the killings in Bucha and has backed an independent probe to investigate what happened in that suburb of the Ukrainian capital, Kiev. So largely it will, of course, also decide or see how the global view about Russian actions in Ukraine is going forward. With video journalist Neeraj Patel, Siddhant Sibil for WION in New Delhi.
WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.